Hey, Juan here. Today we are going to talk about what are the 5 things that you should have achieved on your first 30 days as a product manager. So whenever you start in a new role, it doesn't matter so much if you're a product manager or something else, you have to make sure that at some point, usually within the first 30 days, you have already achieved some kind of level of understanding what this company is trying to do and how it's trying to do it. True, many things you can do already before you actually join the company, but there are many things that you are going to be able to access that you don't have access to once you actually join the company. Let's get on with it. So first of all, as a product manager, you are going to be managing some kind of product. This can be a whole product, it can be sometimes even several products, typically not. And it's sometimes in very large products, it can actually be features or a feature set or a certain part of the product that it has some kind of logical cohesiveness to it. So this means that you are going to be able to look into this product and look into this new and to this feature and actually own it and define what is going to be in the future. So the first thing that you are going to have to do is actually going to have to establish some kind of vision for your product. So typically before you have joined the company, you already have a look on what is the vision of the company. You understand what they are trying to achieve. What you want to do now is that you want to translate these actual company goals into what is the vision of this part of the product or the product that I own that actually is going to support the company vision. This is critical to give you a focus and a goal for your daily work. But how can you actually get your vision and your strategy done? So you have to remember that you're working in a company, you're working with other people, you have to actually talk to them. You have to prepare some kind of interview that will help you to actually frame that vision. What are people trying to achieve within this company? How can I help them with my product to actually achieve the goals of the company? So it's very important that you try to do this. In most of the cases, you're not going to actually start a product yourself. You are going to be working with a team that has been working with a certain product for a long time, sometimes for not so long, but many times it's going to be already a product that is available to the public. So doing interviews, workshops, trying to understand what are the goals of the company, what are the things that matter the most, it's going to help you a lot to define that vision. And this is something that you can do internally with other people that are working in the company, but you can also do it and should do it with the customers of the company. And always remember to validate your findings. Once you have done your studies, your interviews, your workshops, sit down with the rest of the people, sit down with the users and validate them. And actually understand that, yes, we agree, or no, this is not what we thought about. This is not what we wanted to achieve. It's gonna put you in a very good position, and also the understanding of you being proactive, of you driving your own work, of you driving the priorities and the responsibility of what the work that you're going to be doing is going to put you in a very good position within the company. The second one that you're going to have to do is get really familiar with the problem that you are solving. So you have to understand very deeply what is the problem that your users are having. What are you going to do to help them make their lives better? So this can be in a B2B case, it's probably going to have some kind of impact on their workflows or on the ways of working or in the profitability that this company has. And if it's in a B2C, you are going to want to entertain people, or you might have some way of making their lives better by, I don't know, some exercise app that is going to make them healthier. Whatever it is that you have in mind. But you have to understand very well what is the kind of problem that you want to solve for those users. And really fall in love with this problem, not fall so much in love with the solutions that you're building, because solutions are going to evolve over time. So you're going to have competitors, you're going to have people coming with other ideas, and also problems are going to evolve over time. But this is why it's very important that you actually focus on the problems, because then you will be building the right solutions to solve them. At this point, it's also very important to define who are the customer segments that you are actually defining this or finding these problems from, and actually you're going to build the solutions for. And remember that you have to really focus on solving the problems for these customer segments, and don't try to always go to customer segments that are outside the customer segments that you have defined for the product. This is going to help you focus on the goals of the product and actually make sure that you are finding the right solutions for the right people. And remember, again, validate with those users. Validate that problem, validate the solution, validate the users' personas that you're building. It's always very important that you have this kind of communication with them. Third, we have our strategy. The strategy is going to define the way that we are going to achieve our vision. Once you have defined your vision, you actually have to define your strategy. Your strategy is the way that you are actually going to be able to achieve your vision. Your strategy are going to be those key important points that are going to help you to get closer to that vision that you have. In the past, I talked about Tesla a lot of times and saying that how they want to affect the impact on the environment or reduce the impact on the environment of internal combustion engines by switching to electric vehicles. And you can say that one of their strategies is obviously promote electric vehicles, but also another one is the scalability. If they are only selling a few, of course they're not going to have a huge impact on the environment. So the more that they sell, the scalability of the business obviously is going to be very important for them to achieve their vision. Or you could think that the other one is actually enabling these electric vehicles, and they do this with those superchargers where they create their own network for the cars to actually be supplied. And the strategy can be done in the same way that you are doing your vision. Remember that you can do interviews with your users, with internal people that will help you find out what are the key points of your strategy, what are the very important cornerstones for you to achieve your goals and your vision. The fourth one is understand how people are working in the company. This is sometimes overlooked and sometimes you think that you can go and change the ways of working, and that's not something that is easily done. Of course you can do it, but it requires first understanding where are they, how are they working, and then maybe try to identify the places where you could be helping. Always try to do it in a positive way, especially if you want to improve the ways of working. Every single company, remember this always, can improve the ways that they are working. But usually nobody wants anybody to come into the company and tell them that they are doing wrong things. It's a delicate balance between how can you help them improve things. So it's usually not talking about, well, we are doing things wrong, it's that have we ever thought about trying these new ways of working or these new ways of doing things? And actually be proactive and show by example of how can you do things in a better way. That will make people pay attention on your ways of working and actually put you in a good position of this person actually knows what they are doing and maybe we could take them more into consideration. In the fifth one, I want to talk about how can you collaborate, especially with your boss, your team lead, whoever it is, your CEO, whoever you are reporting to. You have to remember that when you enter a company, especially if you go into a small company, it might be that there's a lot of people who are involved with product decisions. It can be even the CEO, especially in smaller companies. They typically are the ones that came up with the idea. So they can be product people in a way. And it is going to be potentially a difficult relationship, especially if you don't get a conversation that is fluid between both of you, that it actually helps you understand what they have been trying to do in the past, but also lets them know that you are the right person to actually come and take this product ownership, this product management position. And you are going to take very good care of the products that they care a lot about, that they build from the scratch. And sometimes, yes, it's a CEO, sometimes it can be a product director, a head of product, or it can be, I don't know, it doesn't matter so much. But typically you are going to report to somebody. So it's very important in the beginning that you have many of these sessions that you're going to have, like finding out, defining your strategy, defining the vision, finding out what you should be doing next with the product, where it should be taking it in the future. Have those meetings with them and discuss with them. So there is a ongoing conversation and ongoing understanding of where we want to go and agreed goals. Because that's going to put you in a much better position when making your decisions and moving forward. Don't try to work too much alone and don't try to actually get things done on your own, because that in most of the cases could put you in positions where you not necessarily agree with them. The disagreement might be very small, but usually when you have spent a lot of time working on one direction and somebody tells you that that's not necessarily the right direction, that's something that people usually don't like. And you might not like it, your team lead might not like it, and that can resolve relatively easily into some kind of conflict. So try to work together with them so there is this kind of alignment with them from the get-go. and not try to postpone it to later stages. So this sounds like a lot, and there's probably a lot of other things that you are actually going to have to be doing during your first 30 days. Obviously, you had to know what they're doing at this point in the company, what are the projects that are ongoing, how can you contribute to them. But these are some of the things that are going to put you in the right direction to actually have a good position within the team and within all the other stakeholders in the company. Don't think only about engineering teams, but also marketing teams and support teams and sales teams, that you can help them understand what you are achieving with your products, and that you are kind of a proxy from what are we doing in practice to what are we going to be delivering, and you can message then to our potential customers or customers in the future. And I'm going to give you a last tip. So this is the 6th, so wrong math, sorry for that. That is that always remember to document everything that you're doing. So all your findings, all the interviews, and the vision that you are going to establish, the strategies that you're going to establish, document them and make them available to everybody else, so people can have visibility on what are you doing, how are you working, because this is going to clarify many things for others. And if you are watching this video because you just got a new position or you are interviewing for a position, I wish you the best of luck, and not just luck. Typically, you build your own luck. So be proactive and start building your own luck. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you have some comments of things that I have forgotten that you could be doing, please let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in a follow-up video of what you should be achieving in this next, in the first 90 days or in the first half a year of your product management or product owner position, let me know also in the comments. I will see you next week, and remember, stay safe.